Oh, hello, my little roaches and roachettes. Hello and welcome back to the Josh Potter Show. I just returned from my hometown of Buffalo, New York, and if you thought I was worse for wear after Skankfest, well, Buffalo had other things in mind. But nevertheless, I am so happy to be here with the very lovely Sara Weinshenk. How are you?
I'm so good. Excited to be here. I think you should tell the listeners that both of your kneecaps are currently exposed.
I'm wearing a very old pair of jeans right now, to the point where, what did I say? I go, the holes in my jeans, they're not designer. They're au natural.
Yeah, and I go, I know. Yeah. Oh, I can tell that those are just from wear and tear.
Yeah, they're not like strategic holes by any means. I have no back pockets on these jeans. They've worn off.
Yeah.
I almost put my phone in it every time and drop it on the ground.
If I could describe these jeans as being one thing, I would say they have a very like carnival worker energy to them. Like they've seen some things.
Yes. They have seen some things. They are old.
Yeah.
But I have been on the road so long. Haven't done laundry in a while, and gonna do that tomorrow. So I'm excited to have jeans with no holes in them again back to my disposal. But Sara is going to be, by the way, I wanted to mention this right off the top, headlining the Brea Improv with Kim Congdon as well, co-headlining December 8th. That's tomorrow if you're watching this on the day it comes out. And I'm going to be there as well. So Brea Improv here in California.
It's going to be a really fun show. I'm excited that we're going to have you.
You also have a podcast with Kim Congdon. It's called, I feel like I'm not allowed to say the name of it. I'm like, am I allowed to call her Thicky Kimmy?
Yeah,
I feel like that's mean.
That's, Thick has been rebranded
to
be a very positive thing.
Yeah, that's true. Girls they're like with the C's. If you do it with the CK, though, that is not positive.
No, you got to come with the double C.
Yeah, it's got to be all this triple C, I think, actually.
But it's confusing because for a while,
how many C's is too many C's?
I think no one does more than 2.
Okay, good. Because I was going to say, if there's more than... I feel like if you do a superfluous amount of C's, then you might as well just be spelling F-A-T.
Like thick with like
thick.
7.
Well, that's a lot of I's, actually. But yeah, no, with a bunch of C's, like 9 C's, I think you're just writing F-A-T in longer form.
Or you're writing a thick. I also feel like if you wrote thick and everything was undercase and then all the C's were capitalized.
Yeah,
that would be a way.
That would be if the C's were capitalized
and everything else was lowercase. That would be offensive.
If you are a Crip, how do you spell thick then? They don't use C's. Is it Thib?
They don't?
No. You got to change all the C's to B's. The Bloods. I'm saying if you're a Blood, I meant to say. Excuse me. The Crips uses the C's. If you're a Blood, how do you spell thick then? Or how do you even say it? They got to say she's Thib.
Wait, I didn't know this. My mind is completely blown. So if you are a Blood and you want to walk to your car, is it a bar?
I'm not going to pretend I'm the expert on this, but from what I've understood from some movies and discussing it with certain people, I do believe that is the case. But then what is the bar?
The bar.
Like, I don't, like if you want it to go, like it must get a lot of who's on first situations because they're like, let's go to the bar. And then the guy goes to his car, but the other guy goes to an actual bar.
I didn't realize they were this strict with the consonant switch outs.
Yeah, when they changed the Staples Center to Crypto.com Stadium or whatever it is now, downtown in LA, I tweeted, I go, what are the Bloods going to call it? And it went kind of viral, but no one had an answer. They were like, they're going to call it Bripto. And I was like, that's still close. It's the word crypt inside of it. It makes me sad for the Bloods. They don't really have their own space then, you know?
Not us trying to understand Blood versus Crip linguistics.
If you are one of the other Blood or Crypt out there and you'd like to chime in, joshpottershow@gmail.com is the email to the show. It's also where you can send in your music, like Craftmatics, who sent in number 55. He sent in numbers 55 through 71, Kirsten, by the way. So we have plenty of Craftmatics music coming our way here inside of the Roach Motel on the Josh Potter Show. Also, I'll tell you real quick, do you have any, by the way, other shows that you'd like to plug real fast?
December 9th, which is the day after I'm at Brea, I will be at Mavericks in San Diego headlining.
Great show, by the way. Love that show in San Diego.
I've heard that. A
It's
lot
so
of
much
people
fun.
have said that. And then in January 14th and 15th, I'm going to be in Humboldt.
Humboldt? What's that?
Humboldt is in Northern California.
Oh, I don't know the California towns as well as I should at this point.
I'm going there because there's a lot of weed there. I'm going to do a couple shows up there. It's going to be a fun time. If you're in the NorCal area, come out.
And of course, Shank is her main podcast, and now Thicky, Kimmy, and Shank joining forces for another. Subscribe to all those YouTube channels, and subscribe to this one if you haven't. By the way, I've been getting a bit of an influx, and that's nice, so keep it coming, folks. Hit the little bell so you know when a new episode comes out. I will tell you my dates real quick. I am going to be in Milwaukee on January 23rd at the Milwaukee Improv. On the 30th of January, I will be at Levity Live in West Nyack, New York. And then I will be at the Pittsburgh Improv on February 1st and the Raleigh Improv on February 2nd. Look at that. I remembered them all. If you want to get tickets, just go to my Instagram at Josh_Potter or my Twitter at J_Potter. Other than that, thank you for subscribing. I'm so thankful for all of you. I'm coming off of my Thanksgiving Buffalo trip, and it was quite the time. I had a great time, but it wasn't as, I mean, Skankfest was like out of body time. It was like existential time. Going to Buffalo was like, I think I might die kind of time.
No, you think you might die kind of time. Well,
yeah, because I was partying, seeing people I haven't seen in years. Overwhelming. It was just overwhelming. It was so wonderful to see my family and friends, but it was also like, I felt like I've been on an island for 2 years, and I just came back from the island, and I don't know how to be around people again.
Well, because also when you're a comic, your life is pretty
lonely.
It's very lonely, and you forget how to socialize with society, especially your family.
Well, during COVID, it's really just during COVID. It's like I haven't seen any of these people that are from my life for 2 years, and now that I'm back in it, I'm like, I was like having a hard time having conversation with them. It was very strange.
Yeah, no, there's just like this overwhelming kind of social anxiety that happens.
Yeah, so then you try and pour booze on it. You try to do other things.
And the shit gets crazy. My therapist told me, I showed him my tattoo from Skankfest.
Yes. Okay, so Sarah and I were like two peas in a pod on Skankfest.
We had the best time.
We were on the same journey, if you will.
Yes,
and,
we were.
So, I mean, it was a lot. I had a blast with you, obviously, but there was a point in the evening where Sarah was like, I'm getting a tattoo.
And everyone was like, what?
And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, when are you going to get it? When you get back? And you're like, no, at Skankfest.
I was like, I need it on my body. Now I live for the sound of the tattoo gun.
So you can understand as a gentleman who, on his first acid trip, thought, this will be interesting. And we went to what seemed like an airplane hangar.
It seemed like a haunted fucking movie.
Yeah, and the lighting was strange, and I was like seeing visuals, and Robert Kelly was in the distance. I just heard his voice. I'm like, are we in like a Oregon sex trafficking sort of situation right now?
It had like the vibe of like hell mixed with with that.
It was, honestly, there was moments where I was like, I'm going to not take my eyes off Sarah because she might end up in a barrel and her, her kidneys will be in coolers or something. Like, I didn't know what was going on back in this.
It was like we were hanging out in like this weird fucked up airport hangar.
Yeah, that's what it was like. And the ceilings were high, and it was this guy just in the back with this tattoo gun, and So you got, do you want to show the audience
Sure.
your tattoo?
I got an 818 tattoo. It was a Brody Stevens in the moment tattoo.
Yes. And so she thought, how wonderful, I'm doing a Brody Stevens tattoo on my wrist.
At Skankfest.
Next day, we kind of realized it looks a bit like a Holocaust tattoo.
Yeah, it looks a lot like a Holocaust tattoo. Also, it's not really that symmetrical.
Oh, yeah, you were very upset. She thinks 8s should be symmetrical, Kirsten. What do you think about that? Don't you think? I said 8s are like snowmen.
Yeah, I feel like you typically see them with like a little smaller on top, bigger on the bottom.
I think that's a good 8.
No, because this is an infinity 8 and this is a snowman.
Well, that's
8.
okay. So I will say that this 8 is symmetrical. This 8 not symmetrical.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you point it to the camera one more time? Do we pick it up, Kirsten? It is upside down in that case. Yes, you have
And
to
it's
do
upside fucking down. I made some choices, okay?
An 818 should be upside down and upside right. It all should be the same.
Yeah. So it's there. It's there. And you know what's a good... Okay, when I sat in the tattoo chair, I looked at the tattoo artist, and he had this huge tattoo, and I instantly recognized what it was, and it was the mascot of this exterminator company.
Which one? The Orkin Man?
Western Exterminator.
Well,
like
he's not welcome in these parts at the Roach Motel, that's for sure. We don't talk about exterminators here. I didn't know. I was in danger the entire time, it turns out. He's an exterminator.
Yes.
But also, there was a moment, and this band, doing morning radio, I came across them for so many years, so I was so excited to see them. Steel Panther. They're like this 80s cover band, and they also have 80s parody music. Very funny. And they have great bits and stuff. They used to call into radio shows and say all kinds of funny shit. And like they would, we'd play their songs. For their final number, Sarah and Jessica, Michelle Singleton, they walked up onto the stage. And it was for the jam Weenie Ride, which I recommend all of you take a listen to on your Spotifys or what have you.
So bad.
It's like, so they were the Weenie Ride girls on the stage. All of us on acid.
I'm not proud of being a Weenie Ride girl.
Why not? I think that's a real honor.
Not every bitch can say she's a Weenie Ride girl.
That is for certain.
I told my friend I was a Weenie Ride girl, and he was like, that's major divorcee energy. What happened?
I mean, you and Jessica got more into it than
one might think.
Well, then I would have thought. I mean, I was like laughing. I don't think you were the typical Weenie Ride girl. Is all I mean. I haven't been to very many Black Panther or Steel Panther concert, but I would suggest that they walked away from there going, these Weenie Ride girls were nuts.
Not the typical Weenie Ride bitches. What do you think the typical Weenie Ride girl is like?
They would have fun up there, a little more subdued.
Oh no.
I don't know. You were twerking the guy. I mean, he was like miming smacking your ass because he's like, listen, I'm not getting out of control. This is a bit. I'm not trying to sexually harass these girls.
We went far with the bit.
It was interesting. And then even I think if you saw the podcast I did with Kim and Sarah, Kim mentioned it. Apparently, there was a moment you were just like about to flash the crowd, and she was like, Sarah, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't do that. Right?
Yeah, no, I was in such character. I look up. And
I was in such character.
I was like this, about to flash the audience, and then Kim goes, no, Sarah, no. It was like she was like Kris Jenner.
Yeah, so if you were at Skankfest,
I need to pay you.
You were this close to seeing the Weenie Ride tits.
Titties. I'm so glad I didn't show my tits during Weenie Ride. Like Halle Berry gets paid like $1 million in like some movie to show her tits for the first time. I'm just on stage
just did
at
it for Weenie Ride.
No, not me showing Steel Panther these titties.
I straight up could not. I was on acid, but I could not stop laughing during the entirety of Steel Panther. And then there was a point where Sarah and I were standing next to each other, and the guitar player from Steel Panther, it's like a whole part of his thing. He'll like go out to the front of the stage, and he'll like point to a girl, and he'll be like, suck my dick, you suck my dick. And he did that to Sarah, and then he looked at me and he goes, not you. Not you. It was the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. But Sarah's here, and we know that Sarah is involved in a bit of a contest against Chase O'Donnell for the Golden Roach.
That's right.
And prize of $100.
I forgot about the 100 cash.
Yes, the $100 cash. Let's get into the sports, and we shall recap what's going on, shall we? And you'll be pleased to know in this remix of the sports intro, odd track numbers included your voice in it.
I know Mike Vick had that thing with the dogs and shit.
So you're like, oh, I love sports in there. That's true. She does, folks. But so far, I'm afraid that you are kind of losing to Chase.
Fuck.
I mean, it's going to be it's very up in the air. Nick Chubb is back. He's got the potential to catch up to Derrick Henry, in which case both of you will have sort of conflicting rankings. And I did it sort of like a draft, and even I am going to have a hard time deciphering the results at the end. I did it in a stupid way, you see, because the person that you picked as number one was Nick Chubb, and you put Derrick Henry last. At the moment, Derrick Henry is number one, Nick Chubb is number two. So if Nick Chubb somehow gets up to number one, and the rest of these fellas are not going to catch Derrick Henry, unfortunately, even though he's stuck at 10. He's never going to have any more. He's injured. So on the screen, we'll have where it's going here. But I feel like it could be anyone's game, because if, in fact, Nick Chubb is number one, and then you have Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones stay in those same places, you'll end up having more accurate than Chase here, because I don't think Alvin Kamara is going to catch up either. He's been injured. Dalvin Cook, I know, has been a little injured and also getting beat up by his girlfriend, evidently. So yes, there was a whole to-do, and it's going back and forth. We don't know who beat up who, because initially it was, did Dalvin Cook beat up his girlfriend? Then there was evidence that came out. Dalvin Cook said, no, she beat me up.
Well, damn. Damn.
The
man got to be pissed off to start beating up someone.
The man with the fish. Remember him? That's who that was.
The man with the fish.
Remember he was holding the fish in his outfits when I showed you them?
I care mostly about their outfits.
Well, that's what I figured. First and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Now, elsewhere in the sports, we just had, and I'm sure you're enthralled with this, Bryan Kelly of Notre Dame, coach of Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
He just left Notre Dame amidst their college football playoff berth, perhaps. They're like on the cusp. If they could even win a national championship, he just up and left the team and took the LSU job for $95 million.
Fuck. That's
over 10 years.
That's a lot of money.
And people are up in arms, you see, because Bryan Kelly, when you're a college coach, these are children, basically. They're, teenagers. They're kids. And when you do that, they're like, my coach is leaving. This is like a father figure in a lot of their lives. Things like that. So people think he's a scumbag for leaving. I don't think he's a scumbag for leaving because he got $95 million.
I'd be so far gone. You'd never see me
I'd
again.
be like, peace out, kids. I wouldn't give a shit about those kids. I would fucking bail like you wouldn't believe.
I'd be at the mall.
And people wanted me to make Bryan Kelly Queef of the Week because he did this. I cannot possibly do that in good conscience.
No.
$95 million. Kirsten, can you go over some of the bonuses that he has in there too? Can you pull that up for a moment like we had?
Yeah, give me one moment here. I got to find it again.
Of course, because it involves a $1.2 million loan for residency. Why he needs a loan and he can't just dip into the $95 million. I'll never know.
He wants $95 million and then additional money for residency.
Yeah, he got a loan so he can front the residency. Like a bank would give you a loan to buy a house. He doesn't need a bank. LSU gave him a loan.
Damn.
Evidently. But then he can also make enough money to pay that loan back without doing... Like, the loan gets paid back through his incentives, perhaps, things like that. So $1.2 million to get a residency. And he's not going to just buy a $1.2 million home. He's going to buy, like, a $5 million home. You know, who's buying just a $1.2 million? If you're making $95 million.
I'm putting a sauna in my house.
That's what you would do, eh?
Yeah.
What else? That sauna seems like you can just do that pretty easily.
Throw a sauna in. Well, I mean, I feel like it would be nice to just have that as an option. Because I'm a cold bitch. I'm constantly cold. I would love to just have a moment in the sauna.
You could make many a room a sauna. You could double it as a sauna.
I would have a sauna. I would have a skylight.
Okay. I
would
like
have
this
hanging
game.
plants.
These all don't seem like you. I mean, I feel like that took care of about $6,000 of the. No,
I need a skylight and a sauna.
Yeah, those. I guess I don't know how much a sauna would cost. A skylight seems achievable. Buying an opulent home.
A telescope.
Okay, well now we're talking accessories.
Yeah.
The house isn't going to come with a telescope unless it's like you're buying the Griffith Observatory.
And like, would I use the telescope? Maybe, maybe not. But if for $95 million, I'm getting the fucking telescope.
I bought a girlfriend a very expensive telescope one time.
That's serious.
I mean, it was my one serious girlfriend in my life, and I bought her a telescope, and it was like the most romantic gift I've ever gotten anybody. And then like I would go to her house and I'd be using it, and I would just be like, what's going on in the neighbor's house? Like I was not using it for the stars. Let's just put it that way.
During the breakup, you leave with the telescope?
I did not. I left the telescope with her. I would never do that. But that might be the most expensive. I was like $800, and I bought it when I was like a senior in high school.
Dude, the things you spend money on when you're in love. I bought a man a bike.
Oh, like what kind? A BMX or like a mountain?
A road bike.
What's that mean?
It's like a hipster bike.
Oh,
a fixed gear bike.
Ring, ring. He had a basket on it and everything.
Yeah, basically.
A fixed gear bike.
I did. I was like, okay, I'm going to give him a
fenders.
Bike. He still left me.
On the bike?
No, I don't.
Was he like, bye?
Do you ever
never biked back?
You get someone an expensive gift, and then you start noticing you're judging the way they're using or not using the gift.
Not really. I have never bought any other than this telescope.
I was like, I bought this guy this bike and he's not riding it. Can I get it back?
Yeah, you should have definitely demanded it back for sure. What was there was a story of people like getting their shit back again. Ah, Christ, I can't remember. But I did want to bring this up. One more thing about Bryan Kelly. We have a video, you see.
Okay, can't wait.
Real quick, I was also going to let you know with these bonuses.
Yes.
It says here, if LSU plays in the SEC title game, Kelly will get a $75,000 bonus, plus another $75,000 bonus if the Tigers win. But it says here that he'll receive an interest-free loan not to exceed $1.2 million, designated to cover 20% of the purchase price of his primary residence.
Oh, my Lord. So that $1.2 million, they're like, it won't exceed that. That's to purchase 20% of a residence.
$1.2 million.
Yeah, so what's that? Like, that means he's going to buy like a $40 million house or something.
That's insane.
Right? I don't know math.
No, me either. It's a lot, though.
What's that math, Kirsten? What is 1 point? I mean, that's a lot for Dash. I know you're not. It's like, I mean, you might even be able to do it. I don't know how good you are at math, but that's like, I don't even know how to do an equation to find that out. How to like extrapolate that 1.2 divided by 20%.
I don't know. I'm not gonna try.
You should be able to take it times like 0.2.
Oh, look at her.
1.2 times 0.2. There you go.
She's putting that percentage in decimals. She knows what she's doing.
But that's only 2.4 million.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd be able to put 1.2. You'd probably have to type out like.
Oh shit. Well, someone in the comments section, or if you want to email joshpottershow@gmail.com if you're yelling at your YouTube right now or at your the dashboard of your car as you're listening to this, because I'm an idiot with math, do tell us how much that is, how much of a home, because I can't figure it out. I don't even know the formula.
It does also say here, though, that he will have to repay the loan plus 20% of any increase in value of the home. And he gets 50 hours of private aircraft time.
Oh, my Lord. All these coaches, with Lincoln Riley gets a jet too. I mean, this is college football coaches. You know, they think everyone's like, they're tough guys. These are generational wealthy people. I mean, their great grandkids are going to be wealthy. These are like the top 1%. You know how Bernie Sanders like, we need to tax the top 1%. They're talking about mostly college football coaches in major Division I sports. Today's Josh Potter Show is brought to us by the fine folk at LiquidIV. And now I was just on the East Coast, and boy, oh boy, is it getting colder there. Did you know cooler weather makes it actually easier to miss the signs of dehydration, like overheating and perspiration, which means it's even more important to keep your body properly hydrated. I was worse for wear, throwing them back with all my old pals, and I brought a few LiquidIVs with me, and it kept me going, my friend. You know what my favorite part about LiquidIV? Not only the functional parts of it, that it hydrates you, gives you some potassium. I also enjoy the fact that it's just so easy. They're these little tubes, and to put them into a bottle of water, it's with ease. You could do it in a moving car, for God's sake. It's wild how easy it is. Some of these things, they come in a pouch and you're trying to aim it. As a blind man, I find it very functional that they actually come in the tube shape and I can fit them into the bottle of water that I'm pouring them in. You could pour them in, obviously, into a jug of water, whatever the heck you'd like to do. LiquidIV also hydrates faster and more efficiently than just water by itself. So adding it to it makes you hydrate even more. I'll tell you a little science behind it. The optimal ratio of glucose, sodium, and potassium delivers water and nutrients into the bloodstream. How wonderful is that? They've also donated over 11 million servings globally, trying to hydrate the world. It's very wonderful. So go grab your favorite LiquidIV flavors. They have so many, and there's something for everybody, and they're nationwide at Walmart, or you can get 25% off when you use my promo code, and you go to liquidiv.com using the code Josh at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you go to get better hydration today using promo code Josh at liquidiv.com. Some days, they can be a real struggle, friend. The good news is I'm having a lot of less of those now that I found TruNiagen. I freaking love it. TruNiagen helps fuel the cell's energy engines. It maintains cellular metabolism and even supports heart health in combination with healthy lifestyles. I mean, with 13 published human clinical studies, backed by Nobel Prize winners, TruNiagen is a supplement that's clinically proven to boost NAD levels and essential coenzymes required for cellular energy and repair. Since taking TruNiagen, I have more resiliency and it helps my muscles recover. I just have more zest for life, you see. Add more vitality to your life today with TruNiagen. Right now, new customers can save 10% on their first purchase simply by going to TruNiagen.com/Potter and using code Potter. That's TruNiagen.com/Potter using code Potter to save 10% on your first purchase. TruNiagen.com/Potter, code Potter. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure or prevent any disease. Today's Josh Potter Show also brought to us by Aura Frames. I'm so stoked that these folks came on board the program because I got to get my mom a present now for Christmas that is going to blow her mind. Aura Frames are smart frames, you see, and using the Aura app, you can actually, from anywhere in the world, share photos onto the Aura frame. So if something cool happens, or if I take a picture and my mom thinks it's a wonderful picture, I've got so many now of my new niece and my nephew, and I can send them to her on her Aura frame through the Aura app. You can do videos now too on the Aura app, excuse me. And by the way, it's going to score me a lot of points that Aura Frames has been on Oprah's favorite things, not only this year, but the past 3 years. You could do the same, man. This is a perfect gift to get someone in your life who would appreciate sentimental value. Last year, Aura Frames completely sold out, so don't wait. Visit auraframes.com. That's AURAFRAMES.com and get gifting right now. AURAFrames.com. And my listeners can use code Josh to take $30 off Aura's best-selling digital picture frames. But Bryan Kelly did an intro press conference, by the way, where, and I want to know, is this racist?
Okay.
Because Bryan Kelly doesn't have an accent. And he went up in front of his new fan base in LSU, which is Louisiana.
Oh, no, I'm worried.
And he started talking with a bit of an affliction or an affection in his voice.
All right, let's hear it.
LSU. Thank you. Thank you. Well, this is a great way to get started.
That's a great way to get started.
My games yet.
He's in character.
Yeah. I'm Bayou Bryan.
To be a Tiger. I'm here with my family.
My family.
We are so excited to be in the great state of Louisiana, but more importantly, to be with you great fans and to be part of what is going to be an incredible ride here at Louisiana State University.
All right.
I feel like the only thing that would be more disrespectful is if he also had Mardi Gras beads on. Of like, gone full
Right?
Louisiana.
I'm waiting for him to put on a chicken costume and be like, I'll say. I mean, it's like, come on, Bryan Kelly. And people have thrown Bryan Kelly under the bus saying he's a scumbag in the past. The coach of the Jets, Robert Saleh, and I guess it was Matt LaFleur, the guy who's the coach of the Packers now. They were graduate assistants of his back in Central Michigan, I think was the school. And there's a famous story that has come out now where, or it's resurfaced, I should say, since this job has happened, where Bryan Kelly supposedly invited them over to a party at his house. They were graduate assistants are like basically intern coaches for a school. So he invites them over for a party. And when they get there, he makes them shovel snow and then park all the people at the party's cars. And then bring so made them like valet and shovelers.
No.
Which I think like everyone's like, what an asshole. I go, that's what you do, baby.
Hey, you want to come to the party? Shovel some snow.
Like if he did pose it to him where he's like, your guest at the party, that's an asshole move. But I don't think he did that because Robert Saleh has since come out now that this is resurfaced and been like, people are taking it out of contest. I would work for the man again. But I just thought I would treat my graduate assistants a little differently had I been put in that position. But I look at it and I go, yeah, you're a graduate assistant. You're going to do grunt work. Like, do you want to grow? Do you want to persevere?
The U.S. has totally brainwashed you. You're like, yes, interns.
I was an intern. I was a sludge intern for so long doing horseshit jobs.
I was too. Being an intern, I was an intern at a fashion PR company.
Oh my Lord, what did they put you through?
They had me. I was Xeroxing things. I was making phone calls. I was trying to get socks on celebrities. This was like 2004.
I was getting shot with tasers. I was an intern on a radio show. So
they shot you with tasers like a guinea pig?
The one thing that I didn't, and they never tried to humiliate me as much as most shows would their interns. Because I knew other interns that would be like, their names were Turd or like Puke or something like that. So radio interns got the run through the ringer. You know what I mean? They would do pranks on them, things like that. I had a fostering internship, but at the same time, it makes you tougher when you do grunt work as an intern. I also was doing things like dubbing entire concerts into a digital library, boring ass shit like that. So it was like, I didn't want to sit there for 5 hours and dub a Disturbed concert into a fucking database, you know?
No, I get it. I mean, intern shit is terrible. I used to have to write movie reviews for like independent movies from Fox Searchlight.
Oh, so that you could they could look at them and be like, oh, let's pick this one up or something like that? Yeah. I know a couple people that had to do those jobs where they're like, people had stacks of scripts. They're like, start reading.
That's a nightmare to me.
Yeah, that is absolutely appalling. But going back home to Buffalo, I got to go do my old radio show. That was a very good time. Thank you to Shred and Reagan for having me. It's weird they're on a different station now, so it's kind of strange, but that was a lot of fun. And I went to a bunch of sporting events, all of which the Buffalo sports teams lost, every single one of them.
And so when the Buffalo sports teams lose, how does that affect your day?
Well, I mean, I grew up with them losing quite a bit, so a loss is familiar to me. A win is like, I'm so happy. But a loss doesn't really make me sad. It did suck because it was my first Bills game in 4 years now that I got to go to since I've moved to LA. First time seeing Josh Allen play this new better Buffalo Bills team, and they got smoked. I was like, did I take a time machine to 2009? Like, what just fucking happened? And so I was upset about that. But I mean, I had a blast. I saw my family. I got to take my little cousin to a game for his first game ever, and that was so fun. And
that's so fun.
I went to 2 Sabres games because the Sabres, I'm sure you don't know this, they are the worst team in hockey, and no one goes to the games. Like, basically, I performed 2 weeks ago with Tom Segura, and there were more people at each show than there were at the Sabres games. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm saying one show that Tom did had more people than were at both Sabres games combined.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
I feel like hockey is something that I could get behind because it moves fast. We've
well, you
covered
did
this.
tell me that you were you had the potential to be a puck bunny.
Yes.
Which I don't know. You don't remember even who the player is. I guess he was on the Ontario Reign or something. It was a minor league one.
I don't know. I matched with a hockey player.
If you date a hockey player, you're going to have to be into group sex, I'm afraid.
Is that what's happening with the hockey lifestyle?
It's always been a hockey thing. You're out here, so you probably run into lacrosse players more, which I would put them akin to them a bit. But I don't know that lacrosse players are doing much group sex. Hockey players love a group sex.
And this is a wide.
And if you're a hockey player out there, don't you dare write me something upset because you know I'm fucking right.
If you're a hockey player out there, you're just washing cum off your clothes left and right.
Oh yeah, they're having a lot of fun. But yes, you were gonna match with one on Raya, was it?
Yeah, but I was like, see, like sports guys, they don't really do it for me. It's too much for me.
Yeah, because you got to go to the rink. What?
I gotta go. He's got practice at the rink. He twists his ankle. That fucks up my week. You know what I mean? I was like, oh no, he's got to go to physical therapy. It's too much.
But they're on the road a lot.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, that could be like something that scares you too, you know?
I don't mind them being on the road that much. It's more like, I don't think I get it.
Well, might I say, my cousin, at one point, and this could be folklore, so I'm not trying to say anything libel or scandalous or what have you, but my cousin used to be what they called a saberette back in the 90s, which was like kind of the cheerleaders that would go around. They do the things on the Jumbotron, little contests. They give out like a free nachos, or they're throwing T-shirts and such, you know, that kind of thing. And she was not fired, but like wasn't allowed to return because there was like, she was canoodling a bit too much with a player on the team named Rob Ray.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Well, you would think, but I think there was strict lines, like, and I don't even know that there was anything sexual or any sort of relationship there, but it was just Rob Ray, you know, back in the day, he liked to fuck around a little bit. So I'm not discounting the fact that my cousin, she's passed away, unfortunately, so I'm not saying that to let, but I can't ask her. Do you know what I mean? I would love for her to be around still. She was my favorite cousin. I would love for her to be around still so I could ask her these questions. But Rob Ray still a part of the Buffalo Sabres franchise in that he does color commentary and analysis for the team now in the broadcasts.
You're telling me your cousin
may have. All arrows and signs point to that my cousin hooked up with Rob Ray.
Wow. Okay. Was she a high energy person? Because you're saying she was like a cheerleader, right?
No, yeah, she was very, very good looking, very attractive, and I could see Rob Ray, you know, wanting to do that. But I saw Rob Ray while I was there because you see, no one is in the stadium. Like I said, very sparse crowd. And so I got right behind the glass, 5 rows up, and this is on my Instagram. You can see it, but I try to get Rob Ray's attention. I felt like, and plus, by the way, quick other note before you play it, I was on the dais of the roast of Rob Ray in 2009.
What? Wait, what?
There was a roast it was like a local production for like the local sports station, and I was a comedian on the dais for the roast of Rob Ray. So we've crossed paths many a time.
Okay.
So here I am about, I don't know, 5-6 rows behind him. There is glass there. Okay. He has a headset on. He's doing his job. But I feel like he gives me a snub here.
Not him snubbing you. Let's see this. Play the tape, baby.
Rob Ray! You're the man! You're the man! Love you, Rob! I love you! Rob Ray! Look at me! One time! I love you!
Nothing. Can you believe? There's no way. It's a library in that stadium right now. There's no way he didn't hear me.
I mean, and you'd think he would meet that with enthusiasm, because when else is someone screaming his name like that?
I am saying, I'm sure people do it all the time. He is like a legend in Buffalo, and he lives there, and he's like on all the commercials, and people walk up to him all the time in the streets. But just, how about a little thumbs up for your boy, Rob?
Would it be like if I saw Tommy Lasorda back in the day?
Yes. I mean, not back in the Tommy Lasorda.
Is he alive?
He's even, I think he passed, right after the World Series, actually, when they won it. So he did see the World Series. That's nice. But
I start crying.
Yeah, you
is Mike Piazza alive still? What's happening?
But he's on the Mets. He was on the Mets. I mean, he's long retired. Mike Piazza's like, what is he doing right now? There was something I just heard him recently on something.
Taco Bell commercial.
Do you want to see another video?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to play this one for you without real context. It's of a gentleman who plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Vita V. Yes, against the Indianapolis Colts here. Let's take a look at what happens in slow motion. You see, he's coming in for the sack. He's a defensive lineman coming in for the sack against Carson Wentz. And what happens here? Let's take a look. Can you make it big? Ooh, it has sound. Gadoosh.
No. No! Josh, I hate it. I don't like blood.
Was there too much blood in that?
So, yeah, I'd rather encounter cum than blood. We've talked about
Well, we can get into that too in a little bit. But no, that's some of the gladiatorship in NFL football. He got blasted in the face with a helmet.
I hate it.
And then he just smiled. Because you know why he smiled? People are like, oh, he's so crazy. He smiled after he lost a tooth. Oh, he's so nuts. He's insane.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is, he just is rich.
He's like, I can afford a new fucking tooth.
Yeah. He's like, this is going to go viral. People are going to talk about me forever.
I'll probably get a free veneer out of this.
I'm going to get someone.
Yeah.
They're going to go to like every, like, I don't feel like every, but I definitely know there's like, you watch the local broadcast of an NFL team, and it's like, we're the official tire of the Buffalo Bills, like that kind of thing. Or they'll be like, we're the official orthopedic surgeon of the Buffalo.
Exactly.
There's everything. So I'm sure there's a fucking dentist out there that's going to give him a fucking free veneer and make it perfect or what have you. But
that's so fucked up, because you know how many people out there could really use a new veneer?
Oh yes, I would. there should be like a fucking campaign for the homeless to get veneers.
Scholarship.
And then not even a scholarship, just like someone does it pro bono for like every homeless person in the community, and then they're all walking around like with wonderful smiles. How much would that help their income, do you think? If you saw a homeless person with a beautiful smile, do you give him more money, or do you go, you're not fucking homeless? It puts your brain in a pretzel.
It puts your brain in a complete pretzel. I don't know how I feel about it. If I see a homeless person with a better smile than me.
Yeah. Not even better than you. Just one where you go, you're not a fucking...
Your smile's a little too bright.
Yeah.
For how homeless you are.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to bring up this other one too. Okay. We have the photo of Dan Quinn.
Yes, we do.
All right, let's see it. Where is that photo? Because this happened on Thursday Night Football. Dan Quinn, who used to be the coach of the Atlanta Falcons, taking over for Mike McCarthy, who, under the COVID protocol, could no longer coach the team this week. So Dan Quinn took over, and he was walking around the sideline with a particular fashion item. I know one person in the world, and by the time this broadcast airs on Tuesday, as it does, I guarantee that Mr. Colin Cowherd has called out Dan Quinn for this. There he is, backwards hat on the sideline. This is supposed to be a leader of men, and he's wearing a backwards hat. There's a man, Colin Cowherd, who hates backwards hats. He dedicates entire broadcasts to shitting on men who wear backwards hats. And so I saw this, and I go... You are about to get a tongue lashing.
Yeah.
You must have an opinion on backwards.
It's like, what are you trying to fucking prove? Put it on straight. You know, the only thing worse than a backwards hat is a sideways hat.
Well, yes, that's oh my God.
Sideways hat. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face, you idiot.
A sideways hat would make Colin Cowherd's head blow off his body. He would just be at a loss for words because he's already like, if you're going up behind, because they have those, you know, they go up and do the press conferences and it'll be like, I definitely know the Cowboys when they do their post-game press conferences, it's Miller Lite is the logo behind him. Now, maybe Colin Cowherd has a different opinion because it's a beer, but sometimes, you know, it's like Chase Bank or something like that. And so he makes the point where he's like, if you go up in front of that banner and you have a Chase Bank logo, you're wearing a backwards hat. If you're going to go walk up to the CEO at Chase Bank, you can wear a backwards hat, stuff like that.
Okay, like, I just also feel like at a certain point, I mean, once you're over 40, the backwards hat needs to stop.
Yeah, so wait, how old were you when you stopped sleeping with men in backwards hats?
I've never slept with a backwards hat guy. That, to me...
You heard it here, folks.
I'm not like I see a backwards hat and I'm like, I gotta suck this guy's dick. Like, that's the sickest fashion.
I can't believe you've had white guy with dreads, but backwards hat makes the pussy dry?
That's so dry. I can't think of anything else that would make my pussy
White guy with dreads didn't do it.
No, he actually the opposite. It's like a fucking waterfall down here, Josh. I need a little more dangerous than just a backwards hat. I need knots, baby.
Oh, come on. I think backwards hat, that's like Fred Durst. Dangerous.
Oh, I did it all for the nookie?
Yeah.
That's so, when you think backwards hat, that's exactly what I think. Fred Durst.
Exactly. And
do you remember that song? But like, you know that song, I did it all for the nookie. Yeah,
of course.
That's such a dumb song. So you can take that cookie,
stick it up your yeah.
Oh no.
I'll never call it dumb, Fred Durst. I think it's an anthem of my generation, and I welcome you on the program anytime you would like to come on.
I'd like to have a word with him too. Sorry to piggyback on the Fred Durst invite. I'd like to have
why did you make every guy I dated between the age of this and this terrible? They were all so angry for no reason. Today's Josh Potter Show also brought to us by Fitbod, and I dislike working out. I will say it up front. I find it monotonous. I find it terrible, but Fitbod has actually made things very much less monotonous because they change things up. They personalize it to me. They know what kind of equipment I have at my disposal, which is none. And despite that, they still give me a tailored exercise to my personal benefit and to go toward the goals that I would like to achieve. And they can do the same for you. If you have equipment at your home, they can even tailor things to what you have, depending on what that might be. Fitbod understands that the path to achieving your best looks is different for everybody. They create programs based on your unique body, experience, and the environment, as I mentioned, your equipment and things like that, and what your goals are. Their algorithm uses data and analytics to help you build on your last workout to maximize your results. Whether you're exercising 3 days a week, twice a day, every workout is scientifically proven to be better than the last. And it's always changing and morphing and things like that. And again, no equipment, no worries, my friend. So right now, you can pick up the pace on your fitness journey with Fitbod today. And your future self is going to thank you, my friend. Get 25% off your membership at fitbod.me/Josh. That's 25% off at fitbod.me/Josh. Today's Josh Potter Show also brought to us by HelloFresh. I've been talking about them since the dawn of the podcast, since the Josh Potter Show began. And you know me, my friend, I love convenience more than anything. Instead of making food, I like to point and go, I want that. And HelloFresh, you still make the food, but it makes it so easy that it doesn't even feel like it. I just do a few steps, follow the instructions. They've got everything portioned out, so I'm not wasting any food. It's wonderful. And now they've got, because the holidays, I mean, Is there any more of a hectic time than the holidays? And they've got wonderful holiday recipes like balsamic and fig beef tenderloin or pecan-crusted salmon. It makes holiday meals feel special without the high cost of dining out or having some delivery. So you can have a cozy comfort food choice like chicken sausage and sweet potato soup for a cold winter's night. They've even got dessert, my friend. Look at this. Ginger spiced cake truffles, also cherry cheesecake swirl bars. These are just some of the things that they have to offer over at HelloFresh. And you're getting ingredients and not wasting money, not wasting food. It's all right there for you. Super easy peasy. And I can't wait for you to get on board. And right now, I want you to get on board by going to HelloFresh.com/JoshPotter14 using code JoshPotter14 for up to 14 free meals, and you get 3 free gifts, my friend. You're getting a little gift action for the holidays. Go to, again, HelloFresh.com/JoshPotter14. Use that code JoshPotter14 for up to 14 free meals. You're going to get the 3 gifts. It's highly encouraged that you go over there and do that right now, because my oh my, you don't want to miss out for the holiday season what HelloFresh has to offer. It's HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Do you remember when Cisco released the Thong song?
Yes, I do, of course.
I had the single on a CD.
I do believe it was the year 2000. Can we get a fact check, Kirsten? Because it was pre 9/11, because that's when the world was so pure. And the Thong song was a song. Then 9/11 happened, and there was no more Thong songs. It was all, we'll put a boot in your ass. 99. All right, I was close. I knew it, though. Pre 9/11. What does it say the release? I bet it was late in 1999. February. Oh, nope, that's early. No, so what's that say? February 2000. What's that?
Yeah, it says February 15th, 2000.
Why does that say 99, though? That's supposed to be when the album came out?
Oh, it looks like maybe it says that was like the solo debut. I don't know.
Of Cisco, yeah, when he left. What group was he in? My whiteness is showing at the moment. Was he in Blackstreet? No,
I have no idea about
He was
Cisco.
in a group. I think it was Blackstreet that does No Diggity. Get down, get down. You know what I'm talking about?
No Diggity.
Yeah. I like the way you work it. No diggity.
The people are going to be in the comments.
I like the way you work it. Does it say what he was at? The fact that I think Cisco is in Blackstreet is probably completely wrong.
I'm looking for it here. I'm just not finding it yet.
Well, you have to chime in once you do find it, because I'm going to move along to the news segment at the moment. Thank you again to Odd Track Numbers for these remixes that I love so dearly. This just in, I was completely wrong. It is not Blackstreet, so if you were yelling at your windshield once again, correcting me, or perhaps you were screaming at your television on YouTube, it was Dru Hill. Was that the name of the group, or that was just who he was associated with?
It looked like it said that's the name of the group.
We're so white, folks. Don't remember Dru Hill. I was young at that time, so I don't recall. My mother didn't let me listen to rap music. No, I'm just kidding.
My mom was like, I remember like this made songs really hot, and I was like in 8th grade.
You said that?
No, I was like in 8th or 9th grade, and I remember wanting a thong so bad because it was like
wanting a thong. You're saying
a thong underwear.
Oh, I thought you were saying the songs were so hot, and I'm just like, oh, because the black guys were singing it. Like,
no, I just remember wanting a thong underwear. Like it was like I was like, I just want to feel like a little bit
that
dangerous.
Thong.
Yeah,
the dong, the dong, dong, dong. I like the way you move that thing. I can't remember the words.
You're actually hitting all the notes, and it's
Am I?
shocking. You sound exactly like him.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't throw away compliments I don't give Cisco compliments easily either, Josh.
That was just having a flashback. I remember the music video quite vividly.
Same. Isn't he walking on the beach, and he has like silver hair?
Well, I don't know if Dru Hill's a group, but whatever. I tried to give the origin story of Cisco here. Meanwhile, your parents are like, are you listening to more of that?
The inner city blacks.
music.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that's what we bring to the table here, old John Otto. But yes, right now I've got a story here. This is interesting. I thought this was an interesting email sent in to me, especially being the fact that they think I'm on Team LSD now because I did acid at Skankfest. I'm on no teams.
If you do one drug, you're suddenly on the team.
I'm on Team Drugs. I'm on all the teams. Can't I just wave my rainbow flag? I'm pansexual with drugs.
He's an equal opportunity employer.
Yeah. I am gender fluid with drugs. So the email reads here, salutations, Roach. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving back home. Congrats on being on Team LSD. Again, no teams here. We are on all the teams. I'm on Team Mushrooms, he writes. But much respect to you is a nice little pun there. And again,
no.
You see, yes, indeed.
He did. He put it in quotes.
May I say this? I do not. I will leave Team Mushrooms if more people keep saying mushies.
Yeah, or like do like a fun guy joke.
Not a fan.
Not a fan of a mushroom pun at all.
No.
Actually, nothing dries my pussy up more than
mushy puns.
Yeah.
Yuck. But this article, he says, the man in this article survived multiple lethal injections. He was on death row, you see. You know when they do that, they inject the guy to die. Only to die of cancer 3 years later. Apparently during the execution, a vein could not be found. Typically, wouldn't this imply intravenous substance use? Hardcore drug users could potentially survive lethal injections. The implications are profound. Let's hear the article a little bit here. I think he really did a good job of summing it up. But it says in the state of Alabama attempted to execute this man by lethal injection February 2018, but failed after staff and medical personnel worked for 2.5 hours to find a vein in his groin, feet, and legs. That's a little extra, doing it in the groin. A little cruel and unusual punishment, perhaps. I thought we were supposed to be beyond that in this country. But good golly, they were like, we don't have a vein. Let's check his testicles.
I mean, first of all, if your body's already so fucked up and so lethal that a lethal injection can't kill you, then maybe you deserve to be alive.
Yeah, I think it's like go revisit the case at that point. I mean, let's reverse the sentence. But I just think it's weird. I've had nurses not be able to find veins in me. And that's not because I've done heroin. I've never done heroin. It's like they say it's because like you're dehydrated. I don't even know what they remember what I remember them telling me, but they couldn't find like veins in my arms in certain times. And I've never done. I'm scared of needles. That's the only thing keeping me from doing heroin, for the record.
I knew you were scared of needles because when I was getting the tattoo.
Oh, I couldn't even look at it. I was about to pass out.
You were like, I can't even watch. I can't even watch.
No, it definitely like fucks my brain up. Seeing, and even like I was on acid, so I actually did stare at it pretty intensely while you were doing it. So.
You did?
Yeah. I was like,
wow.
Oh my, and it was all vibrating and everything.
Now
like that.
I feel like I have to keep it.
I think I mean it's gonna be something, huh? You can't. Are you gonna laser it off completely? I thought you were just going to alter it.
Look, this is what happens. I'm discovering. You know how people with the tattoos are always getting work done?
Yeah.
This is why. Because, like, it's like, you know, someone with a house. You're like, I gotta get wood floors. I'm sick of the carpeting. Now I got projects fucking everywhere.
Now you're going to show up, though, next time, and you're going to have a whole sleeve.
I'm going to have
they covered it up.
Sparrow.
Yeah.
Just, like, over it. Or, like,
That's a good idea. I like birds on girls' wrists. I don't know. I've seen it a few times.
I think a bird.
I think birds are cute. I like birds. But after the first execution was aborted, the corrections officers denied there was any problem with the procedure, and they said they halted it when they ran out of time before the midnight execution deadline. So if you can, I didn't know there was deadlines in executions. I would just stall them with I would regale them with stories or something and stall them, and they'll be like, we're out of time.
Wait, the midnight execution deadline? Is this the Cinderella story? Like at midnight, you can't, like, what happens?
This is back in 2018 too, so they can't even blame COVID like every other service industry where they're like, we're limiting service to 11 p.m. now because of COVID. The supply chain. It's like all that. You notice that everywhere you go, it's like, oh, you want towels for your hotel room? COVID. Can't get you new towels every day. Sorry.
I know we used to be able to get things so easily. In 2019, we didn't know how good we had it.
No.
We were abusing the supply chain, as a matter of fact.
I actually, every time I go to Buffalo, I usually gain weight because of all this shitty food. Like, and when I say shitty food, I don't mean it's shitty, it's good. I eat it. But I'm saying like shitty in terms of for your body.
Right, so you're saying like you're eating heavy like bisques.
No. I'm
bisque?
talking like chicken finger subs, beef on weck, like buffalo stuff.
Beef on what?
Beef on weck. It's a roast beef on a Kimmelweck roll. I'll explain it to you
Please,
another time.
please. I just want to know what that looks like.
It's a roast beef sandwich, but it's got au jus on it, and then a Kimmelweck roll is got caraway seeds and salt, like sea salt on the bun.
I'm honestly kind
Google a beef on Weck to see there, Kirsten. And for the rest of the folk out there who might not know what I'm talking about, beef on Weck, W-E-C-K. That's also also a name of a radio station in Buffalo, the call signs. They made it that because beef on Weck is like such a thing there. There you go. That's a perfect example right there. And I used to work for a restaurant, a fast food restaurant in my teenage years called Anderson's, where we served beef on Weck at a grotesque price. It's still bad. Like everything in Buffalo was so cheap when I went home. And I was talking with my cousin who was also visiting Buffalo from Florida, where he lives now. And he was like, Anderson still isn't cheap. I go, no, it's not. $8 for a Carl's Choice? Might want to rethink that.
A beef on Weck?
Yes, but it's a hearty sandwich. It's a fucking lot of meat. So might be worth it to some.
I want to try it.
Yes, no, you would like it. It's not a bad sort of meal. But there is also, yes, a radio station, an AM station called WECK, and it's like Weck, the classic whatever. So they play like, fucking Blue Velvet. What else do we got here in the news? Oh, this one I thought was interesting. This was supposed to happen in the sports, but I thought you'd like this little story because it involves penises. An Irish bloke has raised $2,000 for Movember by doing running routes that looked a little naughty. Do we have a photo example of this, Kirsten?
Yep, that's what I'm pulling up here.
Sick. You see, you know how these tryhards, when they run around and they do their, I ran 4 miles today, blah, 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 and then they post their route and it's a little line that traces like where they ran in the city or whatever. This man created routes for people to use that are shaped like penises.
What is that about?
What's that about, the penises or the routes? Which one? The route people?
I just feel like men, and I don't want to generalize here.
Sure.
But I remember in high school, these men, they'd be drawing dicks everywhere. And they think it's so funny and so fun. And it's like, it's just a dick.
I don't know why. I still think it's funny.
Well, this picture that you're showing me is truly amazing.
I mean, those are all the different routes he ran. So he would make the dicks. I think the detail of the dick makes me laugh the most. Like, there are some people who draw just like this blah dick, the balls and the head. I like when they have a little jizz coming out of the top. That's fun. I like when they make the little line for the hole. I like when sometimes they put pubes on the balls. But this man was running these routes, you see, so they can't get too detailed. But the fact that they are somewhat detailed like that is impressive, that he ran the route. That one's with a hand jerking it off. Look at that. That was 4.01 kilometers. And my, detailed indeed. He got the whole hand in there. He's running these, you see, and then his app is does a fucking, I just don't care for these apps, you see.
I mean, that would be weird if I started running in the shape of a pussy.
I mean, hey, you can raise some money for charity.
Hey, guy, is that what he's doing?
That's what he did indeed. He raised $2,000 for Movember. I don't know why Movember was tied into the run a dick a day. That's what Shane Moore from Marino in Dublin, this is over in Ireland, decided to run a dick a day and wanted to ensure these daily exercise efforts would give back to the community. Movember is a charity focused on men's health, in particular raising awareness for funds for prostate cancer, testicular cancer, mental health, and suicide prevention. So they lump all those things. They're like, we just got to put all the dude stuff in one charity, you see.
Well, also, like, if you're dating this guy, he's like, hey, babe, let me call you back. I'm just doing the balls right now. I'm just going to round in the balls right now, honey. Let me call you back.
Babe, I'm doing the head, got to do the hole, and then I'm going to be right home. You want me to stop by? The market's on the way of the balls, so I could stop by that on the way back. Moore told Dublin Live he came up with the idea after doing a dick-shaped cycle. Did I expect to write those words today? No, I did not. That's this guy getting cheeky in the author here. I did a dick-shaped cycle back in March just for a laugh on Strava. You can actually draw out, this is an app, Strava. You can actually draw out your routes, and one Clontarf shape caught my eye. What's a Clontarf shape, do you think?
I don't know.
Does the Clontarf mean dick, Kirsten? Is that an Irish way of saying dick?
I'm Googling it right
On
now.
Halloween, I had planned on doing a run away anyway after just moving to... Oh, Clontarf is a place. So he moved to Clontarf. And so that is a neighborhood in which has evidently many a dick-shaped routes for this man to run. You could get creative on runs because it's a lot of time by yourself. Sometimes the stupid ideas are the best one.
Oh, that's wild. He's like, does he put foreskins on them?
Well, it didn't. It appeared some had foreskins and some did not, because I noticed he made the heads of the dick. Sometimes they had the indentation.
And sometimes
others they were just straight up to the top with a line, and he put it in there. But here's the thing, folks. Unless you're drawing dicks on your Strava routes, do not share them, because I do not care about your running. I couldn't care less. Do you care about people's runnings? Do you like seeing their routes? I ran 4 miles today. I'm putting this up to keep me accountable. No, you're not.
No, you're doing it to fucking show off.
Exactly.
It is Ask Marty time. Yeah.
That was a mistake.
Idiot woman!
That's what I meant to write.
Idiot woman.
Yes.
Can't abide such idiocy any longer.
I mean, yeah, guys love talking dicks, drawing dicks, putting dicks on. I remember, like, on dirty windshields.
Oh, in Buffalo, I was just there, and we went out to my friend's car. It had just had a fresh snow. Dick drawn on the window. We all laughed, though. It was all, you got a dick on your window. We used to draw them on the school bus in the fog of the window.
Why don't people draw vaginas? They're too difficult.
Yes, it's true. It's very, and it's like a Rorschach test to draw a vagina, I do feel like, because then you're drawing the labia majorum. It looks like more of a flower. It can be not, no one looks at it and goes, that's a vagina. Do you know what I mean? People have to look at it and go like, are we looking at a crater? Are we looking at just... But
like, why don't we put in tits on stuff?
Well, we do that too.
I've seen truck nuts. Nothing turns me off more than a man with truck nuts.
Do not understand the mentality that goes into purchasing a truck nut. One day I'm going to do an investigative report on this program as to who's buying truck nuts and what type of person they are. I think that would be very interesting, and I'll go in with an open mind. Maybe you can convert me to buying a truck nut. If you have strong feelings, pro truck nut, joshpottershow@gmail.com. Please send that in as well. We discovered Clontarf for whatever is a place, not a euphemism for penis. Did we discover anything else? What is that?
Whoa, those are crock nuts. They're ball sacks for your Crocs.
Okay.
Worse or better than a truck?
Worse,
because also, but here's the thing. I'm not going to shame these because I am going to speculate only a gay gentleman is buying these.
Well, I kind of like the light up balls.
Those were cool. I think they should be those look like Christmas ornaments.
Those are cool. Croc.
Those are Christmas ornaments. I think more so. I don't know. I'm not going to judge the croc nuts because I feel like that might be something in the gay culture. Who's buying Crocs and the nuts? Let's say if you're a dude out there doing that,
Can't abide such idiocy any longer.
Croc nuts.
That's my statement for today. I do want to know, though, again, the truck nut mentality. That is interesting. I want to do an expose on a person who purchases truck nuts, why they do it. Is it funny? Is it to prove something? What is the truck nut for?
I mean, like, if I see a guy with truck nuts, I'm not looking at him. I'm not making direct eye contact with any man who has truck nuts. Because if you do, I feel like there's a rapey energy.
Give me a threshold of man you would sleep with regardless of a presence of truck nuts. It has like an actor, whomever.
Oh, this is gonna really fucking throw people off, or maybe not. I don't know.
Well, it's
you know
your
who
choice.
I have a deep crush on?
Who's that?
Father John Misty. Do you know who this is?
Take me to church. Oh, that's Hosier. That's Hosier. Never mind. Sorry. Who is it? I don't remember his songs. I know
Father John Misty's like an indie singer.
I know who he is, yes.
I'd blow him regardless of truck nuts.
Father John Misty was shoved down my throat to play at the tail end of my radio career. They're like, we're doing Father John Misty now. I'm like, didn't we just do like Def Leppard 3 days ago? But no, he if he had truck nuts, you'd look right beyond him, eh?
Yes.
Father John Misty.
I mean, it doesn't feel good to say that out loud, that I would fuck Father John Misty regardless of his truck nuts. Like, that doesn't make me feel proud.
No, I'm happy that you admitted it here on the program.
Well,
Now watch this drive.
It's a safe space.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Sarah, one more time, plug all of the things that you would like. Thank you for coming to the program today, of course. As always, my favorite. And we will have you are still in the running for the Golden Roach and the $100, you see. But
if I don't get
the season's closing out. We have about a month left here, about 4 or 5 weeks left.
If I don't get that $100, you're going to see me crying.
There's always next year.
Next year. Guys, if you're in Southern California, come out December 8th, meaning tomorrow. This comes out on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, Brea Improv. It's going to be me, Josh, Kim Congdon. Subscribe to my podcast, Shank, SHENK, on all streaming platforms. Head over to YouTube. And you've been on my podcast a bunch.
Yes, I believe I'm doing it again in the future here.
Yeah, you are. You're going to be on tomorrow's episode.
Oh, cool.
So if you're listening on Tuesday, you'll be on
It'll
Wednesday.
be out tomorrow.
It'll be out tomorrow.
Double dose.
And hell yeah, back to back. Check out Thicky and Shank. That's 2 C's Y and Shank, SHENK. And thank you so much for having me.
Oh, anytime, of course. One more time for my plugs, if you will. At Josh_Potter on Instagram, at J_Potter on Twitter. Those are the places that you can find all the links to my tickets for all the shows so far that have been announced. Again, I'm going to be with them on December 8th. If you're in Southern California at the Brea Improv, please come to that. Beyond that, though, January, on the 23rd, I will be in Milwaukee at the Milwaukee Improv. Then on the 30th, I will be in Levity Live in West Nyack, New York. And then I will be at the Pittsburgh Improv on February 1st. And on February 2nd, the Raleigh Improv. Again, all those tickets for sale as we speak. Thank you so much for subscribing to this YouTube channel. If you haven't, please to be doing that. Hit the little bell. Also, if you're listening on audio, like, rate, review, subscribe, that whole thing. I appreciate it, and it goes quite a long way. And one last thing I wanted to say, thank you to everybody who on their Spotify Wrapped thing shared that this is showing up on their top podcasts and what have you. So that meant the world to me. Thank you very much for doing that. I very much care about your Spotifys, so keep to be sharing those, please. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next Tuesday on The Josh Potter Show.
Bye.